Thanks, everybody. Welcome to Build. I'm your host, Ricky Camilleri. In 1971, a new kind of superhero was born, a detective by the name of John Shaft, a crazy cool cat that slayed the ladies and took down bad guys while revolutionizing action heroes for generations. Now, after having met Shaft's son, played by Samuel L. Jackson in 2000, we're meeting another member of the family. Shaft's grandson, played by Jessie T. Usher, whose modern male sensibilities just don't sync up with his estranged father. Let's take a look at the new and hilarious Shaft. Everybody, please welcome Alexandra Shipp, Regina Hall, Jessie T. Usher, and director Tim Story.
Yo!
Hey! Guys, thank you so much for being here, and congratulations on this iteration of Shaft, which takes elements of the previous two Shafts and really expands and exploits them in wonderful ways. You've made a full-fledged action comedy out of what before was an action movie with a little bit of comedy, a couple choice lines here and there. So what was it like doing that, Tim? What were the pressures like doing that, and how did you go about it?
Well, you have to be respectful of what's come before it, so I had to, know where a Shaft is coming from, keep them cool. Respect that, but at the same time, put my own spin on it. And then, of course, by bringing, these lovely people here to the project, I knew I could, make my thing work successfully, hopefully.
Jessie, what is it like to be a Shaft, but for the majority of this story, not a cool Shaft?
Not a cool Shaft. To be honest with you, that was the most fun that I had in this role, was being able to make fun of a Shaft in his own world. Because he's like so confident and he's so dynamic and dangerous and well respected, and then now like here comes this guy, you know what I mean, JJ, and he gets to look at him and just joke about how serious he takes himself and things like that. And then to do it opposite of Samuel Jackson was like, it was the best position that I could imagine myself being in for a film like this.
Well, I love that these two characters don't take the strengths of each other that seriously. I mean, to a degree, he's out of step with time, and you're telling him that like throughout every conversation that you're with him, and you're offended by him and embarrassed by him, like we all are with all of our dads, all the time, Dad. And at the same time, he teaches you these incredible lessons about how to, for lack of a better word, and to go back in time, man up a little bit.
That's absolutely true. I mean, I was raised not in that Shaft universe, like not in Harlem, you know what I mean? I just don't know what it means to be a Shaft. And he kind of has to show me what that means to hold that name, excuse me, and the responsibility that comes with it. But at the same time, I have to correct him and say, what a Shaft in the 70s and a Shaft in 2000, 2001 is not the same Shaft that you can be right now. So we had to just kind of teach each other what it meant to have that name, and then we kind of bridged the gap between the two generations, and here we are.
Regina, you have, everybody give it up for the great Regina Hall. Let's hear it. Yeah. You have what I think is a huge weight on your shoulders in this film, which is that, without giving too much away, you are the one who sets up how this movie is going to be different from the movies before it. Was that something that you were aware of, that you talked to Tim about, that's how that scene would do that, or do you just attack that scene like you would any other?
I mean, we definitely talked about it. Tim is, we worked together before, so it's wonderful.
Your third movie together,
right? This is our third film. And it's great because with Tim, he's, we can collaborate. And you kind of know what has to set the tone. I mean, it's there on paper. But, like, it's always great to be like, Tim, should I? What do you think? It's kind of that going back and forth. And Tim's like, try it. I mean, that's what's so great about Tim, is that he's like, he encourages you to try things and discover things. And although he knows exactly what it needs, he lets you find your way into it. So it was, we knew what it was, and we just kind of created that.
Tim, talk about the idea for that opening scene and how that opening scene sort of sets up the tone for this different Shaft, because it is a different tone.
Well, yeah, luckily I had a script by the great Kenya Barris, who gave me a script that was amazing, and it just kind of showed the history of where we were coming from, so in starting the movie like that, it just allowed me to, of course I had Regina in that scene, so to put her and Sam in that scene together, I knew if I could kind of hit that tone right, then you would understand what this film is going to be, and it was great. It was great to be able to do that.
Yeah, it's not just the fact that establishing the story of what happens to us in the movie, but it's this idea that this movie isn't about just Shaft being cool. It's mostly about people responding to who Shaft thinks he is and how he's affected their lives, whether comically or dramatically.
Well, I think that's where the humor and the fun came from with the movie, is that you've got this dinosaur, I would say, in Shaft, who is not, he is going to be what he is, and he's not going to change. And then there's the people that are around him that have to give him lessons or kind of explain to him, you can't be like that. And that's where the humor came from.
Alexandra, you have a really hilarious moment in the film in slow motion where you are watching a gunfight, and the way that you change your facial expressions throughout that is extremely funny. Can you talk about shooting that, and what was it like sort of getting that direction?
Yeah, it was really fun. I mean, it was a moment of, and I actually think I have a picture of it, Tim, of you like poking over, showing me what I'm gonna be doing. And you've like got the gun and everything. It's super cute. But what I loved about it was he was like, we're gonna shoot this in slow motion, so show me being scared and then being turned on. And I was like,
And go.
okay, yeah, let's see
how many
the rainbow
takes of
that comes
did
from
you do?
that.
How many takes of that did you do?
I don't know, 2, 3.
I think I was just standing there, and I
Yeah.
just made eye contact with
Yeah,
you. I
you were just
started,
making eye
lift my
contact.
shirt up.
Yeah.
That's all
And
it
then
is.
eventually, I just seen her.
That's not
She
true,
started giving me
Jesse.
this ravenous look, and I was like, "Whoa,
Wow.
Tim, are you getting this?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Tim, roll the camera."
That's
and then
She
we
was
kind of
hungry.
pushed Tim to the side. Actually, I told them to start rolling in slow motion. That story of him saying,
I
the
remember
camera,
that.
Actually, yeah, you were there.
She was there.
You were there too, because you
Making
came
the
in at
same
the
faces,
end.
and I said, no, that's your
Exactly.
son.
They're all-
Exactly.
But I couldn't help it.
They're
Right,
all-
and I told them they need to get a
'Cause once
camera
the
on
bullets
Regina
start
for it too, and
flying-
it could be a whole different kind of story. But there's multiple
Look,
versions of it. is
same
what I'm
title,
saying. There's
Shaft,
Same title,
Same
Shaft.
title.
but different movie.
but different movie.
Different movie. Yeah.
Better or worse? It's up
Same
for
music, oddly
discussion.
enough, as well. Just no, it was great. It was really fun.
where it goes.
We
You gotta cut it off
obviously
at
had
some
a
point.
lot of fun filming this, and when you're doing a scene that has bullets flying and people scurrying and so much coverage, it's great that you get to work with people that you enjoy working with. And Tim asked me to do something, and I'm like, yeah, let's go.
And she actually says it like that.
I do. He's like, make it nasty, and I was like, don't worry. We always do.
Tim, were you ever worried or hesitant about taking on Shaft, considering how much legacy it has to it?
Yeah, Tim, you nervous about taking on Shaft?
Yeah. Shut up,
How do you
Jesse.
feel about taking on the Shaft?
How was it, Tim?
Was
oh,
it
God.
intense?
This is about
Was
to
it
go
intense?
somewhere.
Overwhelming at times?
Yes, it was. It was quite daunting.
Really?
Well, yeah, you're being given this franchise, and they're saying, "Go, do your thing." And you're also bringing Sam Jackson, and I knew early on that Richard Roundtree was going to be a part of it.
Yeah, how do you even sort of direct Sam Jackson and Richard Roundtree in these parts when they are sort of like, Sam Jackson was given the role of Shaft in 2000 because he kind of already was Shaft in a way at that time. So how do you direct them?
I don't know if I do. I think it's more of a conversation,
Stand here and do the thing that you're gonna do.
Yeah, or you say, hey, when you do this, so I find it, and I think all the actors up here, they're great talents, and I don't necessarily believe in saying do this, do that. It's always a conversation for me, because if when you start off, in coming into this movie, you have a head start. You've got Sam Jackson, you've got Richard Roundtree. As long as it's in focus, I almost can't screw it up, So it's one of those things, and then you bring on this, this crew.
And you got a Kenya Barris script, as
You
you
gotta
said.
compare. Yeah, so there's a lot that you kind of just let it happen. You kind of direct through what you create. The atmosphere, the freedom for them to kind of do what they feel is right. Because in all of them, in choosing them to be on this project, I knew what they would bring to it, and I knew it'd be right. So it was great having them.
But I do want to add something to that, because at the same time, I understand what you're saying. There was a lot of elements that were already there, and we were able to kind of just walk in and just make the movie. But Tim definitely knew the movie that he wanted to make. And, he would come in at times, at very definitive times, and change things or twist something or add a line or take away a line or, dial down a moment or whatever it was to make sure that film was the vision that he had. And although he would go to Sam and say, hey, I want you to try like this, and Sam would say no, like he would still, at least he said it, you know what I mean? And then we eventually would get a take that Tim wanted. And
I've interviewed Sam before. He says no to everything.
he says no to everything.
Just for fun.
Yeah,
and then
of course.
a minute later he goes,
does hear you.
yes, I'll
Yeah.
answer your
Or he'll
question.
just do it without saying anything. But initially, like,
Yeah,
he's
then he
gonna
comes
say
back
no.
and goes, do you like that I did the thing that you asked me
Yeah,
to do
yeah,
10 minutes ago that I said no to?
So true.
That's him all day.
And that's what it was like directing him on set?
Yes, I mean, it really is a conversation. And you sometimes go, my thing, when I go to Sam and I say, would Shaft ever, and he might say no. Or he might say, get out of my face, I know what you're saying. And you walk away, and then he gives you exactly what you need. He's just great like that. I mean, it's just fun.
A lot of it's kind of taking it with a grain of salt. Like, he's just having the most fun he could have in the moments that he's
talks
there.
a certain way. I'd go into his trailer in the morning and say, what, can we curse on this shit?
Yeah.
He said, what the fuck you want, Tim? And it's just, and I'm coming in to just tell him, hey, we're going to do this thing, and the camera's going to be here. And he just, what the fuck? Get out. And it's like, all right, good morning, too. And we walk out, and that's kind of Sam.
We have fun. I go in the trailer, he says, fuck you, and then I leave. We have a good time. Yeah.
It's a great time,
They do like each other. They actually do like each other. I think that's the
Actually, he likes you a lot, yeah.
Well, if Sam's talking to you, he likes you,
That's true.
And if he tells you to fuck off, he loves you.
Yeah. And everybody's waiting to be called a motherfucker on the film. As soon as you get called a motherfucker, it's like, yes. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
when-
think it's for the ladies, but
he's still-
It felt good. He called me a motherfucker, and I was like,
Yeah. He called me a motherfucker on this stage, and it was like the heavens opened up, and like, it was, oh, on me. And I guess like, you can leave now, Sam.
It's like poetry when he
Yeah,
says it.
exactly. Regina, you have an incredible ability to seem like you're improvising and seem extremely off the cuff, even when I think you're probably going off of a script. I think of something like Black Monday, which is tightly beaded. There's really no way you can go that far off the script on that kind of show. But with this, with a few of your scenes specifically in front of the mirror, it does seem like Tim is giving you a huge chance to really mess around and come up with stuff off the cuff. Is that true?
Yeah, I think Tim's direction was say something.
literally,
I want to do a shot. I want to do a shot in the bathroom in the mirror. Isn't that what you said?
pretty much.
Yeah.
But I know I can do it with Regina. I can, I can say, I'm gonna put you in front of this mirror, and you know the situation you just left. I want to
that's
see
great.
her. I want to see her go off.
Tim will give you the details. You just left such and such, so that you have the history, which you can forget, what just happened, because you don't shoot it in order. So he gave me the history, and then we just have fun with it, and you think of when you've loved someone and you still love them.
How do you know? I mean, I know that this is your third time working with Regina, but have you had her improvise before? Do you just basically know that if given the situation, given the scenario, she'll be able to riff and it'll be good stuff?
Yes. I mean, basically, I've seen Regina keep up with, like she gives Sam the run for the money. She gives Kevin Hart a run for his money. Like, she can keep up. And in my opinion, she is literally the funniest person walking the earth. Like, she's my Lucille Ball. She's like, I can just throw anything to her, and she can make it funny.
I gave him head right before we walked out here. No, I'm so glad because, thank you.
Did I say enough?
You did. No, thank you.
I said, yeah. She's really good on Tim Story Shaft. So
She was amazing on Tim Stories.
Yeah.
What was it?
People will
All that to
speak
be
of her on
said,
Tim Story
Regina's a
Shaft
pro.
for all time.
Regina is a pro. I will tell you right now, she is a pro. She is the epitome of a pro. And when you work with a pro, you know. You just know. She's a pro.
This one's amazing.
Yeah.
She's over here.
We love each other a lot.
She was all right.
She's over here doing act. No, she was.
go. Here they go.
They
Keep her away from
Oh no! Look at y'all. They were all in love in the movie.
In
I
the
feel
movie.
like a mama.
As soon as he yelled cut, it was over with.
Quit looking at me.
Huh? I can't.
Quit looking me in the eye.
Nah.
Why are you looking at me like that? Oh, he winked. Did you guys get the wink? It was weird.
They didn't get it. I made sure it was turned.
I don't think
damn, they got a
Shaft
camera
winks.
here too.
Shaft doesn't wink,
Sorry.
Jesse.
What?
Shaft doesn't
Shaft
wink.
doesn't need to wink.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to wink.
Creeps wink.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Creeps wink. I was trying to be a creep just now. That's why I winked. That was the whole point.
What was it like doing scenes with Richard Roundtree?
Oh my gosh, powerful. Richard is like the coolest, calmest, most well put together gentleman, like who can just walk up off the street with an unlit cigar and just jump straight into a rehearsal and just change the tone of the whole movie. Like,
And it was
everything
crazy on the
changed.
set too. He's so cool. There was a moment on the set where even the women, everything changed, and everybody. I was like, "What's going on?" It's because Richard Roundtree was walking in. They're coming in saying, "That shit," and so it's weird. He's just so cool like that. It's pretty incredible.
Like he carries that charisma and that
Yeah,
persona.
Period.
100%.
Period.
He's
All
never
the
dropped
time.
character from 71 till now. I'm dead serious.
I was just rubbing the back of his head because he has a pretty
It's
head.
a nice head.
And I
Yeah,
never
that gray
noticed-
hair, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was sitting
Thick.
back of him, and I never the slope
Yeah.
right there.
You think she's joking?
Yeah,
go
you think
watch our
She
last
literally was
interview.
stroking the back
She
of his
stroked
head.
the back of his head at least 4 times.
Yeah, the entire interview.
What did he say when you did that?
He didn't say anything.
He
He
loved
looked
it.
back at her
At
like
one
this.
point,
he
I
said,
think he, like,
just
did
used to it?
that. He did like this, like keep going, keep going. But his head, he has a pretty head.
He does. It's very nice.
Regina, everybody kind of has to go toe-to-toe with Sam in this movie and give him a run for his money, but you really, really do in a couple of scenes. What was it like doing that? Have you worked with Sam before?
No,
Yeah.
no,
okay.
this was the first time I worked with him. I was nervous at first. Remember, I called Tim and was like, "Are you sure he's okay with it?" Because last thing you want to do is not be Sam's choice on a movie.
That is so true.
You know, that wouldn't be good. But you know,
Or do you ever make him break? Does he break?
I broke him once.
did you?
I broke him one time.
How?
Sam will hit me with this joke. No matter what happened, if it was not a flawlessly perfect take, he would always yell to the whole crew, and especially to Tim, and say, "What happened to the other motherfucker that we had for this role?" Every time, right? Didn't matter what it was. It could be a great take, and I could just be trying something different. He could be like, "Didn't we have somebody else? Where is he at?" Like, he'll do that all the time. So there was one time, Sam comes in, he had this shotgun in his hand, and he walks up, and he like slings the shotgun out, and it just doesn't go the way that he wants to do. He goes, "Hold on, let me start over one more time," and starts walking back. And I was like, "Oh, this is the moment." So I just opened my arms up to the crew, and I said, "Dang, man, what happened to the other shaft that we had? Didn't we have another one that was a little more professional? You remember that?" And he turned around, and he just looked at me, and he just fell out laughing. He just like started cracking up laughing.
He's giving it all the time, but just waiting to get it back
He's
from
waiting
someone.
to get it back. It was
Yeah.
like
He wants you to get
loved
him.
that moment.
He wants you to get him.
He does.
He likes to play.
Give you a
He's
lot of opportunity.
mischievous.
He is.
And so what was it like doing these scenes where you're 95% of your scenes with him just yelling in his face?
Yeah. You know, it was good because, you know, you can't out motherfucker him, but you have to feel like this woman is strong enough where he'd respect her. You have to believe that they're dynamic, which really means you just have to believe he loves her, and you have to believe that I think we set the tone in the opening scene in that car. And that probably was the funnest, to look over and see like this kind of superhero character doing like what anybody in a relationship does. Like, you just take it some days. You're like, fuck. And you know, it was great to watch him. It was great to watch Sam take it, but it was great to watch that character take it. Because then for the rest of the movie, you get, okay, she's probably the only woman we've ever seen say or do this to Shaft. And then you can believe their, you know, kind of history and love story.
Well, you and Alexandra as well, who's, for the most part, yelling at Shaft or treating him as if he's a jerk. Yeah. What was it like doing that with Sam?
It was fun. You know, I think that every young woman wants to really give it back to a man at some point in time, and I loved that Sasha was able to do that in a really real way. Also, you know, Sasha is a protector. She loves JJ, Jesse's character. She loves him a lot, and so when his dad starts coming around, you know, she's got an opinion on it, and she's a strong woman. She grew up with Maya, and like, you know, she's like, I don't play, and
I love her.
she gives it back to him. She has no problem slanging what he's throwing, and it's fun to play that. Plus, it was fun to be mean to Samuel Jackson. Can I say? It was fun. I was scared. I was like, I don't mean it. I don't mean it. I did. I was like, I'm so sorry. I don't mean it. But also, fuck you. And it was nice.
We have a question coming in from Twitter. Question is for Tim. I love how both characters do man up, but in different ways. How did you make sure to modernize the concept of masculinity, and more specifically, black masculinity?
Wow, this is okay. Shoot, we going in here. All right.
Maggie, we see you.
Well, I mean, what was great with this film is that it was set up to actually have that conversation. So there was a debate that in Sam saying whatever he was going to say, whatever rules he has had and continues to believe, that as long as I had Jessie, and I'll say JJ, the character of JJ, his son, combating that or going up against that, as well as Maya going up against that. Anytime I could have that inside of the movie, I knew I could let the debate happen. So it's a conversation. He says, well, this is the way men used to do this. And then Jessie can say, well, hold on. This is the way. So I just kind of let that happen and let it happen. And many times, just be sure that JJ didn't back down from him. What was most important is that even though Sam Jackson, or Shaft, I should say, is strong about in his position, that JJ is equally as passionate. And as long as that would happen, then I just knew this debate would be entertaining and could work.
Yeah, absolutely. A few questions from the audience. Who has a question? Hey, right here.
Hey to all of y'all. Y'all look great. So I saw the movie last week, and the whole room was laughing throughout the whole thing. So my
Can I
question...
just say the Don Lemon joke just slayed so hard in the theater that I was in. I mean, like, people broke down. They were laughing so hard. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine. So my question is, how hard was it for all of you to maintain character during certain scenes?
It was excruciating. There would be moments when Sam would say something, and my character kind of hates him at that moment. So I'm just like, it was my close-up. He ruined it. And he made me laugh.
I mean, Sam brings such a level of professionalism when he walks on set, so it was kind of, you're so in the moment with him that you don't break until after you hear cut. You know what I mean? There was a lot of times where I knew, like, my subconscious was saying, like, I can't believe you just said that, or like, Jessie, don't laugh. But I would never have broke, just because I knew he would never let me get away with it. And he's just that type of person, you know what I mean? He's so in the moment, and he believes everything that he's saying at that time. So you kind of have to believe it with him. You go on that ride with him, and then when he yells cut, then you stop. And I looked at Sam, and I just start laughing. I'm like, man, what the hell were you talking about in that last piece? And then we can joke around and stuff like that. But when the camera was rolling, like, you kind of gotta be on top of it.
Next question.
Hi guys. So my question I wanted to ask you is, did you guys take your own stunt, or you have a stunt double on that particular scene that you guys were doing on that shoot?
I did all the stunts in the whole movie.
For everybody, right?
She did mine. We put a ball cap on her, and
If
then a
you
little
ever
fro.
look and you see that the duster's a little hitting the floor,
It's because
it was me.
no, we had a great stunt team. I had multiple stunt guys.
Yeah, but I will also say, Jessie, you see him in the
did a
movie,
decent amount of
jump
stunts.
up. Jessie does, sometimes we have to kind of keep him from wanting to do his stunts.
Yeah.
Because, he's a young buck. He thinks, I can do it. And we got insurance situation, so we can't do it. So there were times where
keep
we
it
had
real.
to keep him from doing it. But, we kind of took care of everybody, and everybody kind of had a double back.
We had a decent amount of fun, you know what I mean, doing stunts and stuff like that. But if it was something where it just didn't make sense to even try, then luckily we had a great stunt team. Like, they were incredible.
Next question. Hey.
Hi, guys.
What's happening? She
I
came
wanna
front and
say
center.
Thank you for taking on this project. And also, I love the fact that it presents very sexy, very confident, and very comical. I wanted to know, what serious message did you want the viewers to take away at the same time from this movie, from each of you?
Well, mine was, I seem to have this theme that I come back to often, which is just family. I thought one of the things about it is our families are sometimes, as fucked up as they are, they're yours. And you've got to own that and protect them. And I think that's, my whole thing was always about keep the family together no matter what's happening, come back together.
For me, reading the script and seeing the character JJ being such a different version of a Shaft than we had seen before, I thought that it was very important. I'm actually glad that we were able to capture this in such a great way, showing 3 generations of males all in a positive light. Because there's a lot to be said about Shaft in the 70s, Shaft in 2000, and then this new version of Shaft and how they kind of talk about each other and joke around and pick at each other. But at the end of the movie, what you see is, like, they all have this appreciation for each other's generation and, like, the man that they've become and those type of things. And I think that just showing the positivity in that was such a huge, huge thing in this movie. It's a message I think everybody needs to pay very close attention to.
Yeah, I think I just wanted. Damn. No, because I'm really thinking, and I was like, that's not true. You know, I don't know. I mean, obviously, I wanted it to be real and rooted in something, but I don't know that I thought I didn't care about you all taking something serious. I just wanted you to believe that she loved her son and she still loved Shaft. Like, you know what I mean? And that Tim didn't fuck it up. Because let me tell you something, I was nervous. Tim came to work.
Regina,
Tim came to work. I said, Tim, do you got a shot list? He said, what's that? That's a quote. And I got together a shot list. And here we are.
Thank you, Regina.
You're welcome.
So you broke down the whole movie. You shot listed the whole movie?
She does.
And
Whether
she
you
came
want
up
Do you
with
know what her
Right?
version of a shot list was? Regina would walk on set, and it would be my coverage, Sam's coverage. She'd say, which one of these cameras is on me? And we'd be like, what? And she said, yeah, is it this one? And she point to Sam's, and Tim would say, no, that's Sam's close-up. She said, great. So let's roll it this way, and and Sam, you just stand behind it and just get me. How many times did you do that? Was that your shot list? It was just a bunch of close-ups of you, different sizes?
No, I stayed up for 26 hours straight. And I did, how many shots did I do?
I'm waiting to hear the rest
Right.
of this.
I did, there was hundreds. I mean, the point is it was hundreds. It was like, you know, I want this, and it's action. Y'all think it's easy. But it's not, when you're doing a shot list, I was like, I need that. You know what I mean? I can't give away the secrets. And you would understand, right over your head. But the point is, I gave Tim the shot list.
Because you needed that.
He needed that. I was like, Tim, we got to start there. And I did it. You ever done a shot list?
Sure.
See? So then you know. That was that's what I gave. That was the seriousness that I gave to the film, was the shot list.
With this movie, you know, I was not too familiar with the movies from the 70s, obviously, because they were just like a few years before I was born.
No need to brag now.
I'm just saying. But what I loved about this script and about this idea was that we were turning that idea of masculinity and turning that idea of women being seen as pussy on its head. And I think it's really important for everyone to see that we are not sexual beings. We are not just sexual beings. Let me rephrase.
What? Wait a minute now, hold on.
I got scared.
We are not. We are not just.
Said I'm not.
He was like, cut her mic.
We are not just TNA, and also, you know, what you identify as masculine and feminine is not everyone's definition. And I loved that we were given an opportunity to not only bring this franchise back for the younger generations, but to also teach the older generations that we're not acting like that. We're not talking like that. Women are not just pussy, they're equals. Yes, we got the pussy, but we equal. And that's what I want. That's what I wanted people to take away from it. That's why I was like, yes.
Say what I'm going to say when I give mine away. You know, I'm going to give you this pussy, but we're equals.
You got to let them know what they're getting. You got to let them know what they're getting.
One more question.
Hey guys, first of all, thank you for coming. I know it's a terrible weather, but thank God you came. First of all, Tim, I love the Fantastic Four, and I know it's not great, but I like it. So.
What a lead-in. That's good.
Jeez. Yeah, but I like you. You got a kind heart.
I know
your
your
question,
body's
sir?
out of shape, but I'm attracted
have a
to you for
question?
some strange
I
reason.
have a question. What is the the best moments on screen or off screen, and what did you learn with Sam, Regina, and Tim? These are two young actors.
Oh, for us. Ooh,
Would you like to take this one first?
yeah, I mean, working with Regina and Sam means you got to show up. You know, you got to show up. You got to be prepared. You got to be able to match or try to match what they're giving out. And I think that it taught me that it solidified in me that you have to be prepared. You have to be prepared. You can't just show up and say your lines. There's there's charisma and there's all of that goes into it. But like being prepared, having your craft together, that, you know, they make you level up, either level up or level back, you know, because your shot will be taken. Regina will turn the camera on herself. She'll be like, nah, you ain't it.
She's not doing it.
She's
Let's
like,
rotate
doing
it. It's
turn
got
it
wheels.
around,
Let's just
give me her line.
Shot list. Change to the shot list, Tim.
That's it.
Also, there's like just in working with them, you learn that there really is no place for selfishness in like good filmmaking. You know what I mean? Especially when you're working alongside Regina and Sam, who are so humble, and they come in and they know that they're living legends, and they know how great they are at what they do, and they give you everything that you need so that you can match their performance. Like Sam shows up, first person on set, and like he's there to make sure that scene is good. You know what I mean? It's not just about his performance. He's not gonna do his thing and then leave and be like, good luck, motherfuckers. Like, I hope y'all handle the rest. It's not that. You know what I mean? Like, we're all there to make a good film, and then you have to check your ego at the door. If there's anything brewing in you, you starting to feel like the man, you work with somebody like that, and then all of a sudden you're like, you know what? Like, that's a no-go around here. Like, not if you want that type of career. You see what I'm saying? So that was something that I took specifically from working with Sam and Regina. It's just they're so professional and they're so humble, and like they keep the mood light.
I
and it's
just
nice
realized
to,
this gentleman right here. What's your name?
Felix.
Felix.
Oh, Felix. I was heartbroken by Felix. Felix said Fantastic Four wasn't good and called me old. But he did it in such a complimentary way that we almost didn't notice it. It's like when you're pickpocketed and you don't really notice it until you go, wait a minute, my shit is gone. But you know what, Felix? No. It was a good question. I'm gonna learn from Felix.
You gonna learn from Felix? What did you learn from Felix?
What exactly?
I don't know, but I like the way.
Regina, do you want to insult somebody on this stage while also complimenting them?
No, but
And
that's a
asking them a
gift.
question?
That's a
That
gift.
is a gift.
That's a gift.
It is a gift.
It's a gift. What sign are you, Felix?
Huh?
What sign are you?
What sign am I?
Yeah.
It's zodiac sign.
Oh, zodiac sign? I'm December, but I forgot
Oh, Lord. December what?
Sagittarius.
December 18.
Jesus, he's my sign. Felix, we got to talk after Felix. I don't know what's going on
We
here.
need to know his rising. I want to know what his rising is.
You sure it's the 18th and not the 28th?
No, the 18th. The 18th.
Okay, well, there we go.
I wonder what your Mars is. I wonder what his Mars is. What his
That
rising
deep in the
is.
zodiac.
Y'all wanna
Look,
go deeper?
we are going too far now.
Yeah,
Okay.
what's your
Hang out. I
rising
don't know where to
sign?
go.
Like,
Y'all
what
gonna-
is it?
I should probably be doing my job right now, but this is very fun to watch. Shaft comes out this Friday, right? It starts in theaters Thursday. People can go see it Thursday night. It opens Friday. Go see it. It's absolutely hilarious. There's great action in it, but I think everyone's going to be laughing and loving it. Give them a huge round of applause for being here, everybody. Let's hear
Thanks
it.
for having us.